Hi, my name is Colleen Taylor. You're watching TechCrunch TV. Here with me in the studio today are Hermione Way and Ben Way, the co-founders of Ignite, who developed their latest startup while cameras are rolling for the upcoming Bravo reality show, Silicon Valley. So welcome, Hermione and Ben.
Hey.
So I know that there's limited stuff that you can talk about when it comes to the reality show, right? Those contracts are pretty...
We're under a lot of restrictions.
But we can talk about the beautiful hardware device that we've been building for the last couple of months. So if you don't know about that...
So you can talk about this project that came out of the reality show, because it wasn't all just cocktail drinking and fighting.
Very little. You see, this is what people don't really understand. We shot 3,500 hours of footage, and only a very, very small amount of it was on the social side.
Wow.
So, in terms of on a business level, we're hoping it's going to be quite interesting.
And I want to get into the Ignite device because this is pretty cool. But just in general, what was it like building this company while these cameras were rolling?
Can you see these bags here? I mean, building a startup is a traumatic, exhausting experience anyway. Building a startup on a TV show was, let's just say, very intense. So we're pretty exhausted, but we tried our best, and hopefully it's going to be a great show.
Was there anything sort of positive that came out of building the startup while the TV cameras were rolling? Because I think often when founders are building something, they actually just want to be very insular. They only want to hang out with each other, and they want to focus on their project. But you almost had to kind of balance your focus.
It just made it twice as hard,
yeah.
Which is why it's so shocking we actually got here.
And you know what? We see this TV show as a unique marketing channel where we can get our product in front of millions of Americans. You know, we're hoping to have this in Walmarts across the country in the new year. And you know, how often do you get the chance or the opportunity to get your product on a national TV show? So for us, this is a marketing opportunity. We're looking at this from a business perspective, and we're hoping to get this out in front of millions of Americans.
And so tell me, before we go right into what it is, what's the funding situation like? How big is your team? Can you give us some background on Ignite?
Yes, we can. I mean, you'll have to watch the show for the really interesting stuff, but we can say we're funded and we have some great partners involved. But to know the specifics, you're really going to have to tune in.
There's the hook. So tell us, what is Ignite? What are we looking at?
So Ignite really is two different products that work together. One is a software component, which basically is a real-time life expectancy engine. So what the hell does that mean? Well, basically, it is an app that gives you a life expectancy in real time based upon your lifestyle changes. So basically, we all know that everything we do changes our life expectancy. And what we did was package it all up in a very easy-to-use application, and then we try and drive behavioral change through social interaction and game theory. And basically, the easiest way to describe it is we almost turn your life expectancy into a currency. So you can, for instance, the extreme version of that is if you gave up smoking, you could gain weight. But the idea is that it gives the user control over their own life, and we think it's an incredibly powerful metric to work with. And then we wanted also to, one of the things my sister hates is the fact that you have to input all this information into these apps. So we wanted to develop a hardware aspect to it as well. And what we've basically done is built what has the equivalent ability of the Wii Fit, but at a fraction of the cost, and it works for a smartphone. So we use some very clever engineering to produce what is the Ignite pad. And you can detect your weight on it, you can do exercises, yoga, whatever you want. So that was really the core of what we came up with on the show.
And your iPhone, I can see at the top here, it kind of slides in. Is that how you kind of activate?
Yes.
It's kind of like a very souped up iPhone stand, but it doesn't just play music or charge it, it does measure your weight.
Exactly. And what most people won't realize is there's absolutely no electronics in the devices at all. It uses advanced engineering to achieve the desired outcome. So the great thing about this is that we've patented a way of inputting data into the iPhone or any phone, any smartphone, without using any electrical technology at all.
So there are no sensors, or how does it detect your weight using, I mean, that sounds crazy.
That's the clever bit.
He's a technical co-founder, so I'll let him explain this part.
So the way it works is very simple. And what we patented was material science dictates that most material deflection, i.e. when something bends, is predictable. So what I realized was that you could build a device that used the camera of the smartphone to actually look at the material deflection on each one of these legs. So basically, as each leg is compressed, the camera sees, we transfer that movement, and the camera actually sees how far it's moved. And from that, we can, because material deflection is predictable in this plastic, we can actually tell you your weight on each one of these foot. So we can tell you your weight, or we can tell whether you're pressing down on one side or another, or if you're doing press-ups, or it's a very versatile system. And then the amazing thing is we can then send that data to a games console or any other thing. So we can literally, this is now the Wii Fit for the Sony PlayStation or the Wii Fit for the Xbox. So we've completely taken this technology and made it so simple that we get down to a price point that nobody else can touch.
So how much would this cost? Because you have a lot of comparisons with the Wii Fit, and I know that a lot of people do have a Wii Fit already. Why would anybody buy this?
And a Wii Fit retails for around $100, and I think Fitbit does a Wi-Fi enabled scales for around $150. We're really looking at a price point of around $10. For this piece of hardware.
Yeah, actually, we want to give it away for free eventually. I mean, the first run is going to be more expensive because obviously it takes a lot of, so you don't want to underprice it, so we may go a bit higher initially. But the actual manufacturing costs of this are only around $5. And
because there is no electronics.
There's no electronics.
That's why.
It literally, that's the key to this. We're speaking to Walmart and Walgreens, and eventually we want to do a deal with somebody like Kellogg's, and we want to give it away for free. So we can give, these can be in schools, they can be in doctors' offices, because the other amazing thing about this is that it actually allows you to detect balance, and balance is one of the primary indicators of ill health in the aged population. Okay. So you can actually predict a lot of disease through it as well. And we also have hopes for using it in the third world, for age measurements and all these kind of things, because it's so robust.
So it's interesting you use the word robust, because it sounds like the way that it works, it's so sensitive. And I mean, would I have to be very careful about putting this on sort of a slanted floor in my bathroom, or could this really work in the third world? It seems like a delicate.
It's not. No, I mean the fantastic thing is it's just pure plastic.
Yeah.
So it's there's nothing to go wrong really, unless you kind of deliberately go in and snap one of the legs off. Right. It is. It's a fully engineered product, and our design company Luna, who if anybody ever wants a design company, they have been the most amazing company I've ever worked with. They have built this from the bottom up to be absolutely rugged and reliable and accurate, and actually we get accuracy levels on this that are better than your average scale at home. It's because it uses the camera, which is the most sensitive, the CCD sensor within the iPhone is the most sensitive sensor, really. So we utilize that fact, and it's a beautiful piece of kit.
And the idea really came after I interviewed the guys behind the Instant Heart Rate app. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
So that uses the camera on the iPhone to measure your heart rate, and it's very accurate. And I wanted, I was asking my brother, how can we do this to weight? I travel around the world. My weight, especially since moving to America, has fluctuated. So how can we use this to keep track of our weight in an accurate way? And Ben's an engineer, and this is what he came up with.
And does this work with, what model iPhone does this work with?
It works with pretty much most smartphones. So the beauty of this is that it works for Android, it works for iPhone, because as long as basically the camera sees the 4 feet on the bottom, then it works. It sounds too good to be true, right. But it's just some very, very straightforward but quite clever engineering, and that was one of the goals that I wanted to on the show side of things. I didn't just want us to build a piece of software. I wanted to actually show the experience of building hardware as well, because both have their own unique challenges. And the software was hard enough, but the hardware, oh my God, it's such a beautiful process, but also so complicated. And we've probably generated about 30,000 pages of analysis of this product. You know, stress regions in the legs, and fatigue curves, and all these things that most startups don't have to go through. And so we could have just built a photo sharing app on the
Christ, you could be billionaires
by now. Already made $1 billion.
we want to do something that changed the world, and we're passionate about helping America get healthier and fitter. And then on the software side, we developed a brand new way of people evaluating their lifestyle.
Now, is it just the two of you working on this, or how big is your team? I mean, this seems like such a big effort.
Yeah, I mean, me and my sister, the founders. Hermione is the inspiration. She gave me the problem, and she was like, and I'm the same, like coming to America, I put on like 20 pounds within like...
Your cheeseburgers are just too good.
Oh my God, so amazing.
It's true.
So she said, look, I really want to solve this problem, and we know that America has a problem with weight and exercise, and BMI is one of the primary factors of your life expectancy. So, she gave me the challenge. She said, find me a solution. So I came up with the hardware, and working together, we worked out the concept for the software.
So going forward, what is the timeline here? Do you have, when could we expect to see these in stores?
So the software, we hope to have at least an iOS version ready for the premiere of the show on November the 5th.
10 p.m.
10 p.m, there we are.
Bravo. Set your alarm.
And this, realistically, by the time we've done production, and we're looking for Series A funding now, we're probably looking about Q2 next year. But I mean, primarily our biggest challenge now is raising Series A. So we're currently going out to the market and trying to raise some money.
Right.
So if you see this box in your local Walmart in January or next year, early next year, you know where it was built.
Yeah.
And who by.
Yeah.
So make sure you go pick up a box.
Cool. Well, we're excited to see more about the founding story here once the show airs. Are you nervous about the show coming out? You have a few more weeks.
Being an entrepreneur is a huge risk. Doing a reality show is a huge risk. It's part of the game, and you can't take a big risk without reaping the reward. Let's just hope it's a positive reward.
Yeah, ultimately, I think, certainly what we did on a business side was completely legitimate. If the show shows the process that we went through, it would be the first time in history that a startup is truly captured from conception to product in what was a crazy 2-month period.
Yeah, a lot of these things are kind of kept secret and behind closed doors, so it'll be interesting to see the whole process. Get ready, buckle up. Well, Ben and Hermione, thank you for coming by and showing us Ignite, and keep us posted on everything.
Fantastic, thank you.